Oh, today I'll be talking about all the bands that I got into this year, 2023. And I'll admit there isn't a lot. There's only 5. And yeah, definitely not as impressive as some of the more recent years that I've done videos for this, but it is what it is. But something you guys have probably noticed is that I haven't uploaded for a week or a little over a week or so, somewhere around there. And one of the more recent reasons why is because for whatever reason, my throat, my voice somehow got scratchy. I'm not sure what could have led to that, but either way, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm still somewhat trying to recover from that. But let's go ahead and dive into these bands here. Starting off with Fleetwood Mac. And of course, before I got into Fleetwood Mac, I know who they were. I mean, I was aware of some of their big hits like Everywhere, Dreams, The Chain, and of course many others, but I never got around to actually diving into their discography until this year, and glad I did. Pretty good band. Maybe not the strongest discography, at least in my opinion. They do have some duds, I'd say, but of course they also have some pretty strong albums too. But yeah, definitely glad that I finally got into Fleetwood Mac. Really great band. But the next band we'll be talking about is Third Eye Blind, diving into 90s alternative rock. And this is another band that I'd say not that doesn't have the strongest discography. And the main reason why is because I feel like their more later work is pretty hit or miss for me. But of course their debut is definitely my favorite, definitely their best in my opinion. But Blue and Out of the Vein are also pretty good albums from them too. And then I think Ursa Major is okay. An okay album, but after that, the band starts to get pretty hit or miss for me after that album. But Third Eye Blind, fairly solid band. If you haven't heard of them, definitely check them out, especially if you like 90s rock, 90s alternative rock, stuff like that. But next we'll be talking about a bit of a more heavier band, Unearth, of course, from the genre of metalcore. Except with them, there is more emphasis on screaming, and there's little to no singing from them. Of course, there's maybe a few song exceptions, but yeah, Unearth, pretty good band. I'll admit, sometimes they do kind of feel like a one-trick pony. Some of their stuff does sometimes feels a bit samey sometimes, but either way, what they do works for me. I mean, The March is probably my favorite from them, though. I know some people like In the Eyes of Fire, and The Oncoming Storm. Those are also great albums, but The March has to be at the top for me. Really love that album. Definitely one of the best metalcore albums from that year, 2008. And also their most recent album, The Wretched, the Ruinous, I think is one of the best albums of the year, easily. Really strong album. But yeah, Unearth, pretty good band. If you like metalcore or 2000s metalcore, definitely check them out. Now the next band, we got Kreator, diving into the German Big Four of thrash, and also the only band from that German Big Four that I'm into as of now. Sodom is a band that I would like to dive into more. Of course, it'll have to move towards next year since I'm making this list now, but it is what it is. I have heard Tankard and wasn't all that impressed, not quite my thing. And then Destruction, I'm kind of meh about. But of course, maybe I'll give them another shot next year, of course. But Sodom is a band that I would like to look more into, of course, starting sometime next year. But Kreator, definitely a really great band. Coma of Souls is my favorite, but Terrible Certainty and Extreme Aggression are also pretty good too. And I do like some of their later stuff too, like Hate Uber Alles and Phantom Antichrist. But yeah, I got to see Kreator live actually earlier this year with Sepultura and Death Angel. Got to meet him too, and yeah, again, definitely a pretty great band. And if you like thrash and somehow haven't heard this band, please check them out. But now for the final band for this video, we have Audioslave. And this band is a super group. They only had 3 albums and pretty cool lineup, I'd say. You got Tim Comerford, Tom Morello, and Brad Wilk from Rage Against the Machine, and you also have Chris Cornell on vocals. Again, pretty killer lineup, and first album is definitely my favorite, and I'm sure I'm not alone in that, but their second album, Out of Exile, I think is also pretty good too. I'm not super big on their last album, Revelations. A few decent tracks on it, but for me, kind of a weak album in my opinion. But Audioslave, pretty solid supergroup. And yeah, those are all the bands that I got into this year. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're into any of these bands, and let me know what bands you got into this year and all that good stuff. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment and a like. Subscribe. Have a nice day, and take care.